What up, awesome viewers? RJ here. Today, let's talk about the iPhone 16 and how it really makes sense what they did. So, going back to when I was talking about the Z Fold 6 on how if you can sell something without having to change much and people would still buy it, there's no point on changing it. That's pretty much the same philosophy for the iPhones. It's because people still buy it. There's no point on changing something that works. Why would you fix something that works? It doesn't make any sense. And if you hear background noise, there's nothing I can do about that. So, let's talk. With the Z Fold 6 release, it's effectively a Z Fold 5S, more or less. It changed the design a little bit, but everything else is largely the same. Why? Because it works. Because people still buy it, unless that narrative change, which it did. So, now we're looking at the iPhone 16, which pretty much looks like the 15, and the same can be said all the way down to the 11. So, they're not going to change something that works. Sort of, the question to ask is, are people still buying it? That is the thing that you need to look at. If regular people are still buying this, there's no point in them changing it, because it still makes money. They can still sell it. Why would you change something when it works? Now, in the case of Samsung and the Z Fold 6, it doesn't work. They have to change it because it doesn't work. Because sale price or sales aren't up to par. They are very far away from par. So that means the Z Fold 7 has to make a change. Because if they don't, unless they don't want to be in business, or unless they don't want to sell photobles, then yes, things are going to be the same. But I feel like that's not the case, because if they look at the numbers at their quarterly earnings statement, and then they'll be like, hey, this isn't working. Now it's time to make a change. So, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. What's the difference? I'm pretty sure there are. Slight camera improvement, screen size increased by 0.2 inches. Battery hopefully improved. They locked it on the website, probably some kind of embargo. So, okay, that's fine. Weighs 227 grams, which is the same weight as the Honor Magic V Fold 3. Let me see. Honor Magic V3 GSM. Yeah, 200. Huh. So this phone literally weighs the same as an iPhone. Interesting. And huh. How does that work? But okay. So, thinness and probably gonna overheat. But then again, I think most phones will. That's neither here nor there, I guess. But yes, that is great. So there's that. Okay. Going back to the iPhone. So it's gonna weigh 227 grams. Wait. Hang on. 226 or 230. Okay. Okay. That's nitpicking. So let's not go there yet. Yeah. All right. So not much has changed and makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I think that it works because let's face it. If you want iOS, you only have one choice. If you want Android, you have so many different choices. Just looking at that phone finder, it's like, how many choices of Android? So much. Okay. So they're really not going to do anything. I honestly feel like if you are in the market for a phone that just works, the iPhone is your best freaking bet. It's the phone for people that don't care for phones. It's a phone for people that don't like phones. I really feel like that's the case because it is, at least on paper, the most user-friendly, streamlined experience that everyone can use. And that's how you sell a product. Because if you make something that's for the enthusiasts, you know, something like a an Xperia phone, like the Xperia 1.6 with a bunch of enthusiast features. Micro SD card slot, headphone jack, by the way. Oof, so awesome. That is so freaking awesome. But anyways, that's enough gushing about this Sony phone. Let's go back to this Apple phone. So this is the phone that's gonna work. You're gonna have storage up to 1 terabyte. Not gonna have micro SD card slot. Not gonna have headphone jack. Those days are long gone. I mean the micro SD card slot. Let's just forget it. Like that's not even there to begin with. So let's not even mention something that's not even there. So there's that. Okay. All right. So then, that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of like the phone itself, because there are so many people that made a bunch of videos about this, good and bad, both complaining and both praising. So my take on this is just, it's an iPhone. What more can you want? It delivers exactly what you think it does. It's like buying I want to say Corolla or a Civic or some kind of just car. Like, you're not a car person, you just want a car that gets you from A to B. Like, you don't care for cars, you just want a car. This is that. This is you. You don't care for phones, you want a phone. This is that. Like, this gives you that requirement. And I think it works because people still buy it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Unless they, because the phone's not even out yet by the time of me recording the video. So if it does come out, and then it gets their sales number goes in, and then they do their quarterly earnings report, and then let's find out. But for those of you that actually want to change with the iPhone, I feel like you're barking up the wrong tree. You gotta not get an iOS and go Android, because that's the other option. So there's that. If you want like a photo bowl or something, yeah, you're gonna have to go Android. So you gotta ask yourself this: is it worth it? Probably. There's an interesting one from Boost Mobile where it's literally 1 cent. And I think you're being locked into a contract for the 16, not the Pro Max, is it? Let me see. Yeah, you can go Pro Max too. It's all locked into this contract thing, so yeah, that works. However, that will work. If interested, I'll put links to it. But you gotta read the fine print and all that jazz. So, yes. Is this a good phone? I'm pretty sure it is. Will this phone do phone things? Yeah, it's a phone. It's gonna do phone things. And to answer a question that no one asked, how come you don't have an iPhone? Well, it's because it doesn't have a micro SD card slot or a headphone jack, and it doesn't fold. So, it's very simple for me. If and when I'm in the market for a new phone, which, depending on how long my Fold 3 lasts, might be sooner rather than later. So if and when I am in a market for a new phone, I'm gonna ask myself, hey, do I still want a folding phone? Do I want to deal with the problems that I have with folding phones, and also get the benefits of a folding phone? Just have it be better than the Z Fold 3? Sure. I thought about that. I thought a lot about this. Did I just not have it have a specs page? No. Yeah. I thought a lot about this particular phone, because the battery, the charging rate, the 1 terabyte, 16 gigs of RAM. It does it. It has all of the things that I would want. 236 grams, not superly heavy either. Okay, so it does all of that. And it's a folding phone, so it's going to come with folding phone problems. So, yeah, I really thought about this. In the US, by the way. So, if this is going to be like a move I'm going to make, it's going to be an import. If I want a normal phone, and I want a micro SD card slot, and oh boy, do I want that headphone jack. It's going to be this phone. Because much like people that are in the space of an iOS, where they only have an iPhone, I'm in the space of an Android with a micro SD card slot and a headphone jack. I only really have one choice. There is no other choice. Other phone manufacturers do not make normal phones with a headphone jack and a micro SD card slot. They don't do that. Why do they not do that? I don't know. But they don't do that. Well, actually, I do know. But I think I probably made a video about that already. But anyways, That's neither here nor there. But if I'm in the market for a normal phone, I'm gonna be looking at the Xperia 1.6, and that's gonna be my only option. If I'm in the market for a folding phone, I'm looking at a Vivo X Fold 3 Pro. This isn't my only option, but it's the best option, because everything else either has a really small battery or screens. I mean, let's face it. If you want a foldable phone, if I want another foldable phone, it's got to be, everything has to be better than my Z Fold 3. Everything. Like, there is no compromises. So that means that's literally this phone. Bigger battery, bigger screen, wider screen. 1 terabyte of storage. That's the one I'm gonna get, because that's the highest storage available. Really good cameras. Whole 9 yards. Everything is just better than the Z Fold 3. So, yeah, there's that. And so now, that's basically the long story short. Like what you see, gonna get any of these things, maybe probably it's the iPhones. I think that's probably why you're here. So yeah, if you're gonna pick it up, I'll put a link down below for you to check out. Make sure to read these fine print, these terms and conditions, if you're gonna go through the link. So check return policy. All right. Oh, if you're new to the channel, hey, nice to meet you. Welcome. Click like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, bell, more content. You guys stay awesome.